Hey there. You ever wonder what it's like to get some of the cheapest cameras out there and test them? Well, this video may be for you, because we're bringing you the best of the cheapest trail cameras. Check this out. Cameras. Okay, let me pull up my notes. Oh Lord! Oh no! Before we get into this video, I'd like to point out that I do not wear eyeshadow. When I'm outside and I'm squinty like this, it makes it look like I'm wearing eyeshadow, but I'm actually not. And I don't pluck my eyebrows. Thanks for checking though. So we have 8 cameras. We have them all priced out. We got clear winners. What is gonna happen is we are gonna give 2 of these cameras away, and I'll tell you how to do that at the end. I will try and down below in the description, time mark each one of these cameras, and at the very end, it'll have the rankings of all the cameras together. We had 9. And Derek, I'm sorry, but this one just did not make it. Big reason why this camera didn't make it, to be clear, this one was called the TKK. It took rechargeable batteries, and I don't have any. Actually, I don't even think these were rechargeable. No, they were some silliness. And anyways, I didn't have the batteries. It seemed like a big hassle. I figured, why would I want to buy this camera if I don't have the batteries and I have to make special purchases all the time for it? And it takes a micro SD card. So this camera, without running any test, is a no-go in my book. We're starting alphabetically. And the first we have is the Apeman. Now, first look at the Apeman, I kind of like it. Out of the box, comes with, all of these cameras come with a bunch of stuff, not just these little straps. They come with a bunch of like hardware for mounting on walls for security purposes and stuff like that. But we just cared about the straps to get it on the 4x4. We open her up, and we have a standard looking basically trail camera. Kind of reminds me a little bit of like how the Bushnells used to be set up. I don't know if they're still the same way. The batteries go on the back wall. Let's see if I can get that off of there. Takes 8 AA batteries. The setup is pretty simple. It's, again, reminds me of the Bushnell. You kind of put it over halfway, start things up, makes a little pretty tune, and then when you shut it off, I should give it an extra point for that. They're good quality photos. They're not great, but they're good quality. A decent night range for the infrared, and the photo trigger speed seemed, you know, good, but not great, and seemed a little slower on the video. You can tell a little bit in the pictures where I'm really close, is that it has a hard time a little bit with color correctness, which is not a big deal at all. Not at all. What I do like about it, it's one of the few cameras where you can see the flags there. So the first set of flags is 10 feet, then we're going 20, 30, 40, 50. So the furthest flags you can see in any of these pictures are 50 feet away from the camera. This is one of the few cameras that actually got a picture of me on the first set of flags. Got a decent picture of me at 30 feet, and then I didn't have nothing. Now, I walked through it a couple times. It just didn't pick me up at the further range. It seems like the long end is about 40 feet. We would say 40 feet, which is perfectly fine. All these cameras, I did just a super simple setup. We turned them on, we got the dates and time set, and then we either did a single burst or 3 burst pictures for the pictures, and then for the video, we just did whatever standard video when as soon as we turned it on. In the video, it comes out okay. Like I mentioned before, the quality, the trigger speed is very delayed on the video. I'm past halfway across the camera when it actually shows up. And then the rest of the time, the further out it gets is better. So the closer stuff isn't great, but you know, when I get out to that 30-foot marker, just about in the center of the screen, that's not too bad. I'd like to be 5 foot into the frame when the camera would be starting. That'd be handy. And I don't think it's too bad. It's not that bad. None of these cameras are that bad. So the Campark 120. It's just a beautiful camo pattern, just top notch. So in my notes for the Campark 120, the images are slightly cropped or zoomed in, good night range, grainy night imagery, good daylight quality photos, and a good trigger speed. Big downfall in my book, micro SD card required. Micro SD, #1 hit list on my book for not being cool. Why? I already have enough harder time losing. I lose these just standard SD cards all the time, you know. And then when you throw a micro SD card in, it's not even the size of my fingernail. How the heck do you expect me to figure out where to put, what pocket I even put it in? The batteries on this one are a little more difficult to install, but they're on that back wall panel, 8 AA's. That's good in my book. It's got menu button, shot, replay. You can view the pictures on the LCD screen, so that's kind of nice. So I would say the ease of use with this camera, the program itself is fine. Battery's kind of hard to get out, and the SD card, big bad in my book. Let's go through some photos and videos. First picture we got, I'm great, happy. It's actually pretty close. That's the closest flag. One of the few cameras again that got me where you can see it nice in the center of the camera. Again, about 30 yards out there. That's perfect in my book. Where you're not even a third of the way across the image, the still image, and you've got whatever's moving through it. It did get me at like 45 feet, at least 40. That's when I was walking straight back up to the camera. And then again, it captured me at 5 feet walking straight back up to the camera. Trigger speed, good. When we get into videos, it works. The trigger speed's still pretty good on the video. I mean, it's catching me before I cross that third marker. I like the image of both, the photo and the video. For nighttime as well, has good range, but man, she gets grainy. She gets really grainy. It gets clearer the closer I get to the camera, but that's what all the cameras do. For the third camera, we have Campark Mini. Yeah, this thing's pretty small. I like it. My hand, gone. That is one thing that drew me to this camera. It is actually identical to, at least the size of it, and it's not identical, it's really close, to the Toguard Mini that we have also tested in this video. 4 AA batteries. I mean, really, you think about it, like some of these cameras with 8 batteries, I know I've run a lot of camera with 8 AA's, and you run lithiums, they literally last me all year. So I don't know why this 4 battery camera couldn't last you at least through hunting season. It's a nice little compact unit. The start setup button is on the bottom, normal SD card on the side, and then when you get into the camera, the LCD screen, which is nice, you can set it to however you want. You can, the videos, if you wanted to set a video, super long. Light power was the problem here, and it could be because it was a 4 battery camera. I didn't think it was working at all until I realized when I was looking at it, the pictures just today, and it actually had light image working, and was just so bad. So bad. So for daylight photos, the quality's nice, the color's nice if you care about the color of the photos. The trigger speed didn't catch me very well, so it didn't catch me at the 10 foot from the camera. It did catch me about 30 feet out. That's primarily where most of your pictures are going to come from anyways, depending on how you set up your camera. If you're setting it on a trail, running parallel with the trail or on a slight angle with the trail, 30 feet, take a picture. If you got it on multi-pictures, by the time it gets by, you've probably got 3-4 pictures and you're good. So 30 foot is perfect for me. It didn't catch me out past 30 feet. It did catch me close for the video, so I don't understand what happened. I was at 10 foot there and it caught me walking right by the camera. But then it didn't catch me at 30 feet, so I don't understand what's going on there. I'm still gonna use this camera. Be a good one to throw on stay land and just daylight photos only, so, or video. So not a bad camera. If you do order it from Amazon and you throw it out there and it's not working at night, I'm sure you can send it right back. So, oh, now we're getting some real good pieces of work here. In alphabetical order again. So I've got all the links down below. This one's called a Clobo, and I'm holding it right side up. This is so weird, man. This is the weirdest camera I think I've ever seen. It makes sense why it's the 3rd cheapest camera. This has got its LCD screen behind this little hatch, which is not waterproof, and you can't do nothing with it without the controller. This is another Derek purchase. I made a list and Derek purchased 2 of the cruddiest cameras. I'm sorry, Derek. The other thing that I really did not like about this camera is it's like a bottom eject battery cartridge, which that takes 8 batteries, so that's not too bad. But the problem is your on-off switch for this is, your on-off switch is right next to that cartridge, and your SD card is right under this piece of Velcro that I kept catching when I was ejecting it, and it would drop the batteries out. That does not speak for the quality of the photos or the video. Okay, so we get to the photos, much more cropped than the other photos so far. The first photo I was already past halfway point before it took. The colors look fine. You can tell that's a mature buck with a sag in the belly. Then it misses a bunch of photos. It got me close and then got me nowhere. Here's the thing about the video. It caught me out there at about 45 feet, so we know the sensor's good, the trigger speed's good. Probably at 45 feet caught me just the first third of the frame, and then we get into the nighttime videos and we can see that it gets a little grainy, just a little bit, not bad. Dancing, 4th of July, man, that was a good time. The range of the light, fantastic. You can see out there past 50 feet. Good camera. Horrible. It's a good camera. Horrible user friendliness. Oh, horrible. Don't like it. Don't like it at all. Did I tell you I don't like that camera? Now we have the FHDCAM. Again, this kind of looks like the Campark 120. And I believe they call it 120 is for the 120 degree view, which is baloney. This camera and the Campark 120 do not have a 120 degree view. That is baloney. So I pulled up a list on Google on here to see what some cameras would be good to review on Amazon. This had this camera as #1. The #1 best quality camera you could get on Amazon. And I'm going to tell you right now, this camera let me down severely. It let me down severely. User friendliness for the camera, setup, all that, fantastic. Looks just like a Bushnell. Batteries are back there like normal. Card goes underneath, on and off. Same jazz as these other cameras. Somehow is worse. It's just worse. It's just worse. Okay, so let's just look at the photos and videos, right? And you know, they're brighter than snot, and they're blurrier than snot. And I'm going through them, and it didn't have a photo of me until I was 30 feet out there, and it's super cropped in. It's like super zoomed in on the image. I don't understand what's going on. So you almost lose 20 feet it's cropped in so far. And it gets me just coming into the picture, and then it gets me just after the halfway mark. That's fine, whatever, I'll give it that. Photos, daylight photo quality, tough. Trigger speed, tough. Not a huge fan. Video, and somehow the trigger triggered way before I was in frame, which I think it has to do with those side pointing sensors, and screwed up. It only got me at 40 feet in the daylight. So let's see what we get for nighttime, and we get for the light, horrible lighting at night. Horrible! Just horrible lighting at night. And it's grainy. It is so grainy. It's worse than a Polaroid camera at night. I'm telling you. It's just horrible. I don't care. And it can't be quality control because everything failed on this test, okay? This is, I will tell you right now, somehow, this is the absolute worst camera. Absolutely the worst camera that I tested out of these 8 cameras. It's probably worse than this one that I didn't even test. In my mind, I'm telling you right now, halfway through this video, halfway through this review, don't buy an FHDCAM. Don't buy it. I will pay you not to buy it. And then we have, I don't have the camera in front of me, we have the Tasco. A lot of people like this one. I've seen a lot of people on social media accounts saying, woo, 20-something dollar camera. I think this one, $28 camera, $30 camera. Best bang for your buck. Best bang for your buck. And I've got to agree, that is fairly true. Pretty good user friendly. Not a lot of things you can do for your settings. You have a single burst, a triple burst for your photos, and then you've got your video, and I can't remember how you could change the settings on that one, but we only did it as a standard video setting. And Ryan has had this camera since October of last year. Ran it all of hunting season. He had no major complaints for the price point, so that's good. He did mention to me that I should not run it in a 3-camera or a 3-picture burst, because the first picture is fine, and then the next 3 colors, it gets darker or loses tint. He was getting photos in the fall of 1 clear, bright picture, and then 2 dark pictures, middle of the day. So that's just something to look out for. Single burst, fine. Three picture burst, not so good. The megapixels are nice, nothing crazy. When we get to the daylight video, here's where we get a little funky here. We get all sorts of pretty colors. All sorts. It's like fireworks going off in the day. Trigger time was delayed with the video. I was almost out of frame already before it actually started recording me. And we're blue. We're in Smurfville. Second video clip at 30 feet caught me pretty good, 1/3 into the frame. And then we get into our nighttime, where I was hoping that I would see similar quality, and we do. It's a little grainy, nothing crazy. The light, you know, shines out there pretty good distance. It's just shy of 50 feet, or right at 50 feet. And the quality wasn't too bad here. It gets pretty blurry when I'm moving around, doing whatever the heck I'm doing. And you can still, what's nice about this camera, even though it's blurry at night, is it's so bright that if there's a buck out there with a rack, it's gonna shine against that rack pretty nice. So you're gonna be able to identify at least what it is. So yeah, it's not the cleanest. The megapixels aren't the greatest at night, but it works. You know, 28 bucks, 30 bucks, that's a good camera for that price. And then we get to the Toguard, and that I don't have on my hand either, because that is right now sitting out in public land. But again, I mentioned the size reference, it's about the same. It's actually a little narrower than the Campark Minis. I've had this camera since December. I've been using it for some of the trapping videos that I've put up. It does pretty good. But the trigger speed's good close. Got me just, you know, 5 foot into the frame, and it got 3 photos of me. Got me out about 30 feet, but the range on the trigger isn't the greatest. It never got me past 30 feet. It was honestly more like 25 feet is probably its range. I like the color. The video is good. It caught me nice, perfectly just coming into frame at 30 feet. And nighttime quality photos, great. Again, you can see out there at least 50 feet with this light, so it's getting good range with this light, clear on top of it, which is odd. Trigger speed was good. It did kind of get dim on that second and third burst because I had it on a 3 camera shot, but not bad. WOSPORTS, another tiny little compact camera, and I like it. I don't know why, but these compact cameras, man, just nice to throw into a bag. Leave out in the woods, less likely to be seen. So let's take a look at the photos. They don't look too bad. The range of view, not too bad. It's cropped a little bit compared to the other ones, but still not too bad. Gets me at 10 feet, 3 pictures of me quickly, awesome. And then, excuse me, gets me at 30 feet. When it comes to the video, it caught me right in the beginning of the third of the frame. This standard was 10-second video. And it's a little darker image than the photo, but that's fine. You're using a little bit more volts out of your batteries, so it kind of like, you know, it makes things a little weaker. So it's understandable that it's a little darker with 4 batteries. Nighttime video, nothing crazy. It's a little blurry, but still it's defining. It is fuzzy, but just nothing, it's eh. Okay, so for the scoring, it's pretty simple. We got 8 cameras, we're ranking them the 8 cameras against each other. The lower the number, the better. We have the day image quality, the night image quality, the nighttime lighting, and the trigger speed and shutter speed for all of our photos. For the video, we have the day quality and the night quality, plus the range of view, just to see if it got cropped in a little more, and the nighttime lighting, still good. And then for extras, we have the ease of use, programming, setting up the camera, batteries installation, all that type of stuff. And then we have the camera size. We have the price ranked, batteries, and the SD card. The best camera tested was the Toguard Mini. Surprisingly, I didn't know that's what I was buying when I bought it back in December. I just thought it was a nice little camera, compact, run video, cool. It'd be great for trapping. Turns out, it's an awesome camera. The Toguard, awesome camera. Little compact. The only thing you ever got to worry about with the 4 battery camera is that maybe the batteries will run out quicker than they would if they were an 8 battery camera. The second best camera, another cheap camera, is the WOSPORTS. Woo! The WOSPORTS camera is the second cheapest camera behind the Tasco. Toguard Mini, number 1. We got the WOSPORTS, number 2. Another great little camera, another 4 battery camera. Number 3. The one everybody was asking for was the Tasco from Walmart. Great camera. Again, everything bang for their buck, not too shabby. I will do 2 giveaways. We're gonna do 2 giveaways. We will do one on Facebook and we will do one on YouTube. One person will get the Campark 120. Again, this one's decent. This one I didn't chew apart. Don't mind this one at all. The only gripe with me is that it's got the micro SD card. Still, it's a fine camera. And the other winner will get the Toguard Mini. I'll tell you what, how you can win. You just gotta comment. This is all you gotta do. Listen how you gotta comment. You're gonna make a guess. If you want to win one of these cameras, all you gotta do is comment down below and make a guess on how old was I when I shot my first deer and what I shot it with. First person to guess how old I was, what I shot it with, could possibly win both the Campark 120 and the Toguard Mini, which looks just like this one, but does better on the tests. Until next time, I appreciate y'all for watching and checking this out. Hit that sub button if you want to, and I will catch you on the flip side. We'll catch you later. More food plot stuff to come in the future, fishing, hunting, trapping, and all that good stuff. See you later. Bye.